Hi everyone, welcome back. We have a lot of cleaning to do in today's video. I need to clean the main area of the house. We have family coming in tomorrow evening, so I want everything to be fresh and smell good, all the things. Yesterday evening, I went outside with the boys and we did some work, like hard work, and I feel so good today. I feel recharged. I don't know. There's something about going outside and working hard that just always, it's like, it just makes me feel good. Some of y'all asked in the last video about some of the products I use, like my makeup products. So at the end of this video, I'm going to go sit down and just kind of show y'all what I've been using on a daily basis. And then I'll link that stuff below if you want to go and check it out. I always say it works for me. So that way, if you do order it and you don't like it, like that way, because all of our skin is different. Our features are different. So it's going to work differently for other people, I'm sure. But most of the stuff I use, it's recommended from people that I trust. And usually when I get it, I do enjoy it. So hopefully it's the same for you if you do order anything. But yeah, I'll put that at the end of the video because, like I said, most people come for just the cleaning motivation. I keep looking outside because there's some birds, and I don't know. I just like to look at birds now that I'm older. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start in here. I'm gonna try to get to the bedrooms and the bathrooms today. We do have karate this evening. I do have laundry to do. So we'll just see how the day goes and see how much we get done. Whatever I don't finish today, I can definitely just get up in the morning and finish it tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to start with the kitchen and the dining room, living room, get those all nice and tidy. And then we'll see if I have time to mop the floors and do all those things as well. I hope y'all enjoy this and I hope it gets you motivated.
So as you could see, the house was really messy and I had a lot of stuff to get done. It did take 2 days to do everything. I do sometimes separate the work because I also have other responsibilities besides just cleaning the house. So anyway, we're gonna start in the kitchen. So I keep looking at comments from the video that I put up a couple videos back. I'll try to link it below if you want to go and check it out. But I keep reading through these comments, and a lot of y'all have been through the same things. A lot of y'all have the same feelings about people. And like I don't want y'all to think that I don't see the beauty and the joy and the possibilities of like building new relationships or, like I don't want y'all to think that I'm just totally cold. I'm not. I'm really not. I absolutely love people for all their individuality, really. Like I think that it's so important for us to keep our individuality, I guess. There's no other word for it. But when I was younger, I was surrounded by tons of people all the time, from the time of a very young age, teenager, all the way up to my my mid 30s, I guess. I always had a lot of friends wherever I went, wherever I moved. I always found new friends and, stuff like that. But what changed me, I think, was realizing going through something horrible, and my phone would only go off from a very, 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 very small group of people, which was my two closest friends, my brother, my mom, close family. So when that happened, like, because I didn't have social media at the time, so there was no way to communicate with me there. So whoever was like checking on me every now and then and being like, "Hey, you okay? Hey, we haven't heard from you in a while." Those people are still very much in my life today. Anyone who like I went, sometimes 6 months to a year without talking to, I realized after hanging with those people on weekends, going to those people's houses, going to events, with their kids, stuff like that. And then my phone never, ever, ever once went off from those individuals. I realized, okay, so those were not real, like, those are not going to be consistent people in my life. These people are. Those are the ones I'm going to focus on and make sure I keep a relationship with. And the other ones, I did not make time for that anymore. I didn't, and I still don't. But sometimes the worst situations, like out of chaos comes order, and there is nothing more true. So, learned is rejection is redirection. That's literally the only way you can positively look at things. So, sometimes a greater force than you, which to y'all know that I love Jesus, and everything is true when it comes to that. Um, Sometimes things will happen. You'll make a mistake, or whatever the case may be. You will be put in positions where you have to reevaluate things, and you have to sit with yourself and figure things out, and it's just redirecting you into another you, the person maybe you were always supposed to be. So when I was hanging out with people all the time and I was so accepted, I realize now why I was so accepted, and it was because I was completely destroying myself. And for some reason, people love to see that. They and I know the reason for it, but it's to help them get through their life. So that way, you're doing something horrible that takes away from what's horrible in my life. So I can watch this train wreck and avoid my own train wreck. You know what I'm saying? So it's just redirection. And like I said, it can redirect you and put you on a path where you're more healthy, you're thinking things through, you're thinking more clearly because you're getting enough sleep for one thing. You're not drinking, you're not hanging out, you're not staying out till 4 in the morning. And like I said, just wrecking yourself, wrecking your health. I was wrecking myself, wrecking my health for so many years. I was trying to be numb. I was doing anything I could to fit in, and like, I wasn't seeing the beauty in life. And I feel like a lot of times when I'm around people now, um, I hear a lot of complaining, like constant complaining. And I feel like I was like that too. I would always have something to complain about, whether it be my health or, whatever the case may be, finances, marriage. I find that when I get around a group of people, there's so much complaining, and there's a lot of critiquing, like other people critiquing other people, even though maybe they don't have the room to do that. Like, I notice so many things now that I am not trying to be something I'm not. I notice when people are overcompensating, or they're saying something to make another person feel bad, so that way, like I said, they don't feel as bad about whatever's going on in their life. Like, there's just so many things you can get out of secluding and finding yourself and figuring things out. And just know that being different isn't wrong, and loneliness is not a problem. It's an opportunity to grow, to find yourself, to make more time for important things like self growth. Like, you need to be able to be alone and be happy. If you have to constantly be surrounded by people, if you constantly need that outside validation, that external validation, something's wrong. And when I see people who look for external validation, they never really go far. Like, you have to be able to wake up and be like, okay, I can do anything, I can be anything I want. I don't need the approval from other people. If you've made mistakes in the past, you don't need everyone's forgiveness, and you don't need everyone. Like, you need to have a relationship with whatever you believe in, which for me, it's Jesus. So, anything that I've gone through, I do not dwell on it. I don't, because I mean, he tells you fear not. He tells you love one another. He tells you to not judge. And it is very hard. It is very hard to get, through today's world and, in that mindset. But it's there for a reason. Like those words, like a lot of people might not believe. I completely 100% believe, because anything that you listen to as far as stoics or these motivational speakers these days, um it all springs from the same place, and those he told you those things for a reason. It's not just, if you really live your life by that code of I'm going to work through this day. I'm not going to hurt anyone. I'm going to try my best to be the best that I can be. I'm going to try to love with an open heart. I'm going to, forgive and move on. And the most important thing that you can do is forgive yourself for whatever pain you may have caused. For everything, like, you have to move forward. You have to keep moving forward every single day. If not, you will get stuck. Wherever you think that was your worst point, you're going to get stuck there. I've seen people get stuck there in the past. Um, reliving moments over and over and over again, or like, you meet those people and they talk about the same things over and over again, and it's like certain situations that hurt them. um I am guilty of that. I have done that in the past, but knowing what I know now, I do not even entertain those moments in my life, the bad moments. If anything, like I said, I look at them as a beautiful thing that taught me a lot. And maybe it was just an absolutely horrible thing that taught me a lot, but I'm going to try to find the positive in whatever it was. So, even if it was, something that makes me look like a horrible person, like when I was younger, I'm not proud of a lot of the stuff I did or said, or how I treated people, or how I would handle situations. Like, a lot of my friends would compare me to Beth Dutton from Yellowstone, if you can believe that. Like, because all of y'all tell me how sweet I am, how kind I am. And yes, today I am. It's taken a long time to get to that. But I used to be really wily, and I used to be like springy, and I didn't think before I reacted. I didn't think things through. I didn't have the knowledge that I have now that I'm older. I now know how to handle situations better. I know to pause more now when I'm angry. I know, like, take a second, think this through. How are you going to react to this situation, without, not making it worse? Because when I was younger, I would make anything worse, anything worse. And it taught me a lot, though, and I feel like sometimes I'm like, "Man, why couldn't I have had that life where, most people have, where they have the loving home and the 2 loving parents, so they, from a young age, know how to make good decisions," which this is what I'm going for with my kids, mind you, but I didn't always have that. I didn't have that guidance. I didn't have those mentors in my life. So I was winging it. And I was, like I said, I was going on just complete lack of knowledge with anything when it came to handling situations. Now that I'm older, like I said, I can usually get through anything without making it worse, which is a big deal for me. Like, I used to just say things that would hurt people. If they would say something to hurt me, I would say something way worse to hurt them. And it would just, that just escalates and it gets worse. And so, like, now I've learned to really, really take my time with responding to something that has affected me in a negative way. I've learned, a lot of patience. And like I said, when you realize that these rules were set in place for a reason and it really does affect your life here on earth more than you think it does. Like, yeah, I always think like, how does this affect my afterlife? But when you really start to think about it, you can create your own, hell on earth if you're constantly reacting horribly to situations. You're constantly putting yourself in bad situations. You're not taking care of your vessel. You're constantly tearing yourself up, tearing yourself apart. You're constantly thinking bad about yourself. That's horrible too. I've done that a lot in my life where I just had horrible thoughts in myself, like how could anyone love me? How could anyone want to be around me? So, like, shifting that into, okay, you're a work in progress. Don't be so hard on yourself. I started looking at myself like, how would you talk to your best friend or your family member? You wouldn't tell them the things that you tell yourself. And you deserve just as much love and compassion and forgiveness as the people around you. And I think some of us just spend our whole lives in survival mode. And then when we can finally get out of that survival mode, it's hard to transition from that. It's hard to believe that you're okay. It's hard to believe that you're safe and you're well taken care of. It's kind of hard, to think that once you've been through so much. But once you find that peace and, you can depend on yourself, you know that no matter what happens, you are mentally capable enough to get through it. Your life will start to just improve and get better over time. Um, my brother came down a couple weekends ago, and when he saw me, he was like, "Man, it's like you're aging in reverse, or like you just look so healthy and happy and, this and that." And I tell them like just it's not just the diet change or the not drinking alcohol. I mean, that has a lot to do with it. It all goes together, everything goes together, but it's also just finding that peace and not stressing constantly and not, like I said, looking for external validation and, does this person care for me? Is that person gonna do something to hurt me? It's like knowing that no matter what happens, no matter what the outside world does to you, you're going to be okay because inside, that's where the light is. It's not coming from the outside, it's coming from the inside of you. So it's just important to, treat yourself kindly too, like, and also like, yes, I do wish people would forgive more. I know it's hard, um, but you can forgive and still be distant. You can forgive and still, you know, um, not want to be around those people as much. But I do think that everyone deserves some grace, and you deserve grace. You need to give yourself some grace. And like I said, look at the entire context of your life because you're the only one that has that. And go from there and try to figure it out, try to understand. So this happened and I reacted this way. And then once you start really, really getting down deep and looking at yourself, you can figure out a lot. And like I said in the last video, dropping the ego is so hard to do. And sometimes I still struggle with it, but you do have to drop your ego to grow. You like if I'm talking to somebody and it's constantly someone else's fault and there's never any blame. It's never a two-sided thing. It's just this person did this to me and that person did, something's wrong there because you most certainly probably played a part in it. Not unless you're talking about somebody with mental health issues, maybe they're a sociopath, psychopath, whatever the case may be. And there is more of those in the world than we care to discuss. um, but most of the time, if you're dealing with another, normal person, two people play the role. And it is good to be able to see your faults. Like, you have to be able to see your mistakes, your faults, and work on those. If not, then you're not really, really trying to find that inner peace. Like, the only way you can find the inner peace is to drop your ego and realize, yeah, I'm not perfect. None of us are. None of us are. And I think that we're just so hard on each other, and that's what makes it hard for us to drop that ego and, like, really evaluate situations, because we're taught not to. We're taught not to show weakness. We're taught to stand our ground and, be competitive and, you know, be out for number one. And, like, once you stop doing that and you start, like I said, showing yourself grace, showing other people grace, talking softer, being more gentle. I've always told y'all, kindness over everything. And yeah, like I said before, that's where I'm at now in my life. Where I used to be was not the same place. At the drop of a hat, I was down for anything, and now I'm just very, very, I try to be respectful, and I try to, like I said, learn from other people more, and just observe things more, and just really being aware, like I said, when I'm around people, I'm not so much judging them. I'm just finally aware of what they're saying, what they're doing, and it makes me more aware of how I'm talking, the comments I'm making, so that way I'm not hurting anyone without knowing it. Because sometimes I think we just say things and we think it didn't hurt someone. I do think a lot of times it's not what's the word, malicious. It's not a malicious attack. It's an honest, like, you say things just without thinking it through, and you don't know how to affect someone else. I'm sure I still do that sometimes. And but I've learned to just be more aware of that, and to also be more aware of other people doing it. So that way I'm not like judging them. I'm just aware, like, oh, they're saying that because, you know, like say for instance, someone's talking about parenting, right? Because you always get that when you're around people, you always get the parenting differences. So with me, I'm very calm and patient with my kids. I try not to yell at my kids. Yes, I have my moments, but I try really hard to talk to my kids just like this, in the same tone of voice. I try to keep it the same all the time and talk to them like adults, because that's basically, that's where we're going with this. They're going to be adults one day. And I don't want them to handle situations with physical violence or any kind of verbal abuse or anything like that. I want them to handle situations um, in a good way, in a well-mannered way, and a civilized way. And I think that a lot of times, the way parents, like, when you're sitting with a group of parents, they're always going to say, well, I did this with my kids, or I can't believe she does that with her kids, or, there's always some kind of critiquing when it comes to parental things. I, of course, have learned to just let this roll off my back, because a lot of people disagree with the way I parent. Um, Although my kids are very well behaved, I think that your kids will behave as you behave. So if you're loud and obnoxious and things like that, your kids are probably going to be the same way. If you're soft spoken and quiet, your kids will probably be the same way. If you are wild, and I'm not saying any of these things are bad, because like I said, I think individuality is great. I think people being themselves is great. But I always, like, I want my kids to, like, when I see my son, he's 23 now, my eldest, and when I see the way that he handles situations, I'm so freaking proud of him. And that didn't just come from me, that came from his grandparents and people that surrounded him as well. He got the pretty wily side of me, but he does have my temperament a lot. But his whole demeanor and just the way he respects people and the way he handles situations calmly. I'm so proud of that. And that's what I want for my younger kids too. I want them to be able to handle situations in a proper way where they don't fly off the handle, they think things through, they don't treat people horribly when they're upset with them. And that's my whole and people call it gentle parenting. I just call it like I'm in control. That's how I feel. Like I always make sure to control my behavior, because if I can't control my behavior, I'm an adult, and if I'm losing it on my kids, imagine what they're going to do in bad situations. They're going to lose control. So it's always about that, like, and talk it out. And, um, yeah, we're just all different when it comes to that stuff. But when you're sitting with a group of people, like, I can tell when I'm around certain people, they do not agree with the way that I'm gentle with my kids. And I say the word gentle, I don't think it's gentle. I think I just treat my kids like I would treat anyone else. I don't, when they do something, I talk to them about it. And honestly, like, I was listening to another, because I always felt like I was crazy. I was listening to a lady the other day, and she was talking about, they asked her, well, how do you discipline your kids? And she was like, I really don't ever have to. And that's how I feel a lot. Like, my youngest, he's woo, like, he gives me a run for my money sometimes. And he just does little things. And y'all know Bug's always been our little tornado. But he just does little things where I'm like, what the heck are you doing? And it's like he wants to antagonize, or, he's just being a kid. He's testing. And it's so funny. But like my older kids, it's literally just telling them how I feel, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this, or I'd rather you not do this, or, you know, it's not like, I don't know, I'm never stressed really with my kids, misbehaving. I haven't had to deal with that much. And I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's impossible," but I mean, honestly, like, and even when people are around my kids, they're like, "Wow, your kids are so well behaved." And I think that just comes from us being well behaved. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't like to touch too much on parenting because, like I said, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I give a lot of grace to any parents because it is hard. And like the other day I was with my ex-mother-in-law, and she was like, you have some really good kids here. You're doing such a good job. And I told her I never feel that way. I always feel like I'm messing everything up. And she said, well, maybe I think that means that you're just a good mom, you know. I wanted to bring y'all outside and just show y'all really quick what we're working on. Me and the boys have been out here doing this. You can see this is the area that I still need to do, and then the other area was what I had already done. But we were out there just pulling out all the weeds, raking, getting it all nice and clean. I was just talking with my father-in-law and mother-in-law today about doing some stuff out here. Like, my husband wants to make me a little garden, a little like Zen garden where I can just come sit outside and have my coffee and read a book or whatever. I really enjoy being outside a lot. I I enjoy it more, especially when I'm in my, like, I need to find myself again phase, which I'm in right now. So I like to go outside a lot when I'm in that phase because I don't know, there's something about hard work and also just being outside that brings so much peace. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to give you those before and afters. Hopefully you enjoyed this talk, and I will see you in the next one. I love you all so much. Take care of each other. Bye, guys.
anyone who was wanting some of my makeup products that I've been using daily. So the first thing that I swear by is this NYX Bear With Me. It is prime, set, and refresh. It's for 8 hours. I use this every day. I spray it before I do my makeup as a primer. It does fill in a lot of the pores that I have. And then I'll spray this on my face. It's a whole process. I'll spray this and then I will let that dry, or I will use my hair dryer to let it dry faster. And then I've been using the CC cream, color correcting, full coverage, anti-aging, hydrating serum plus broad spectrum. I've been loving this. The smell is a little strong because of the sunscreen, but other than that, like the coverage is really good, and you can build it if you want to, make it more intense or whatever. But I really like this. I like going in pretty easy handed with it, and it's more like just a color corrector for me. But so I've been loving that. And then I usually use the Magic Eraser Concealer. For some reason, when I ordered, you can see how big this is. This is not the concealer. This is just called treatment makeup. It is a little more sheer, I feel like, but that kind of works out well for me because I don't want my concealer to be really cakey. So I've been using this, and like I said, it's bigger than the concealer, so I get way more product in there. Like I said, I'll have everything linked down below. I also use this little concealer to kind of blend with this one. So I'll put this one like right under my eyes, down my nose, on my forehead, and then I'll take this one and do just really little bitty dots right here and just blend those two together to just make a more even blend. For blush, I've been loving this one. This is the Loose Rosy Drops. They have omega fatty acids and sappinwood bark, but I really love the way this looks. It's very subtle. I like my blush to be really subtle, as you can see. It's like barely there. And I also like a lot of cream products now that I'm a little older. So yeah, and my contour. I have been using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand for contour. This is light medium. I really like it. It goes on pretty smooth. I like that it has a small sponge applicator instead of something really big. That way I can be more precise on where I'm putting it. I really like that one. Okay, so I was using this as a contour stick. It's the NYX Wonder Stick. This was a little orange for me. I ended up using it all anyway before I ordered the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I will be reordering this though. I like it very, very much. But I still use the highlighter part of this one. And it's another cream product. It's just very subtle. And I really like the way it looks. So I'll take that and like dab it on my nose and down the middle. I'll put a little on my forehead sometimes. I might take a little just depending and put it on my cheeks. I don't do a lot of highlight anymore, but I still like to highlight a little bit. And then I also, and I put all the creams on before I even put my powder on. So I'll put all the creams and then I will spray the NYX again and I will like blow dry my face. And then I'll go in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder. I get the color 15 Light. And I love this powder. I don't use too much, but I use enough, and it smooths everything out. It gives it a blur, and I really like that. And then I also go in with my Physicians Formula. You can see it's time for me to reorder this, but I do like the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So I'll put the powders on. and then I will spray the NYX again, and then I'll use my blow dryer and let it all heat in, melt in my face, and that just works for me. That's my whole process when it comes to doing the base of my makeup. Okay, the rest of it, I don't do a lot. It's for my brows. I use a lot of NYX, NYX. I am using the NYX. I use two different colors. I use ash brown, and then I use rich auburn. This is more of a red, of course, and then I just like to use two different colors because it gives it some contrast and just makes it look more real, I feel, if you add two colors in there. So I've been using that, and then I do wear lashes. I try to make them pretty subtle. I like using the Naked lashes from Ardell. I use 421. These are my favorite. I will cut a little piece off and then double that on the end to make it a little thicker sometimes. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't, but that's how I do my lashes. And then I have been ordering the, this is my daughter's though, the Bubble Colossal mascara. This one is brown black. It works pretty good. I never have an easy time with mascara. I can never make mascara look right on my eyes, so that's why I always go for lashes. But like I said, I just try to get the ones that are a little less like heavy. I don't do well with heavy lashes because it makes me feel really sleepy if my lashes are too heavy. So I don't do heavy lashes anymore. So for my lips, I like right now I have these on. These are the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liners. I just ordered these. This one's Pinky Swear. Show you. Pinky Swear, and this one is Mauve Aside. So these two look really good together if you wanted to like go all over your lips with this and then put this as a liner. I think that's really pretty. I did that today. Did it last? I don't even know really, but it's only $2 just to have this in your purse. Like I ordered these two, and then I also, since fall and winter are coming up, I did order a red. I don't know if I'll wear it or not. It's very, very red. It's very pretty though. I just don't, I mean, I like red. If I do red, I will go very light with my eyes, kind of like they are today. I'll do everything really light. But I ordered the red cream, I think it's red. Yeah, red receipt lip liner. The lip liners are $2. The fillers are $4, but they're a triangle shape. It's pretty nice. I like it. I don't know how much product you get in there, but I mean, it looks like a lot. Anyway, like I said, I do not know how long these stay. I don't know, but it's e.l.f. I like e.l.f. I like e.l.f. I like NYX. So I don't know. You can try it out. I don't want to say that they stay because I really don't know, but they are pretty. They do have a lot of pigment. I'll put some of this one on. They are pigmented. So, I would put the red one on, but I think I'm going to look crazy with it. Do y'all want to see me put the red one on? We can try it out and see. But I wanted to show y'all these really quick. Let me go take this off and I'll put the red one on. We'll see what it looks like. I'm going to look crazy, I think. But I think because I'm so tan right now, I don't know how the red one's going to look. I think when like it's fall and winter and I stop using my stupid fake tan so much, these will look a lot prettier, but I'll see. Let's try them out and see how they work. And I want to see how the lip filler works. Okay, so let me open this real quick and we'll try it and see. I'm kind of scared. My in-laws are in town now too, and hopefully they don't come home and I have to come out of the room looking crazy with sweats on and bright red lipstick. Let's see. Oh, that is bright. And yes, I do think redheads should be able to wear red lips. Want to. This is really hard doing it. I don't know how this looks. I never do my makeup like this. Okay. Here's the filler. This is the part that scares me. Smooth. It's really bright. I don't know if it's for me. I don't know because I have really little lips. I don't know. It's pretty bright. But it might be pretty. Like, I don't know. It's really bright. I might look for a deeper red. We'll see. I don't know. It I don't know. It just feels like a lot. But like I said, maybe my hair was done different or I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, that's what it looks like. This might look good on some of y'all, but for me, I don't know. It's like a maybe it's too orangey. Maybe I'm looking at it in the camera and it might even look different in a mirror or in real life because sometimes cameras do change things. Because even like my face, like I wish y'all could see more. Like I do have a lot of wrinkles and stuff, but it seems like on camera it's smoother. I don't have a filter on or anything, but I don't know. I like it. Let me show you one more thing that I just got and I'm going to try using, and y'all can let me know down in the comments if y'all use it. So I had to take some of that off. That was really bright. Don't know if I love it. I don't know. I'll maybe try it again. I don't know. I just got this today, this micro needle derma roller. I don't know if any of you have used one of these. I already opened it just to see what it was, what it was like. But it's literally just a roller with a bunch of blades on it. So that should be interesting. They say it stimulates collagen, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to try it and see. Because like I said, I don't do any kind of Botox or any kind of treatments to my face. But I do try to take care of my skin more now. Way more than I did when I was younger. So we'll see what happens with this. I have a feeling it might make me break out because anytime I exfoliate or anything, I always end up breaking out. But my camera is about to die. So anyway, I will have all of this stuff link down below for y'all if y'all want to go and check it out. I'll sit tonight and try to find everything and link it for y'all, and if you want to try it. But yeah, that is my whole makeup thing that I got going on, and I will see you on the next one.